Facts Verse presents. Man waits 2 years to get back at ex-girlfriend with perfectly planned wedding. Long-distance relationships are not easy. The couple is apart for long periods of time, and they get lonely. And sadly, that can lead to infidelity. Trust issues are also common in long-distance relationships. Being apart for long periods of time make the couple wonder what their partner might be doing. This is something that a man named Dino understood all too well. Dino worked on an oil rig. His job had him working far from home for long periods of time, leaving his girlfriend behind. He enjoyed his job, it paid well. Since all of his expenses were paid for while he was on the rig, he was able to bring his entire salary home. Dino was a really responsible guy too, and unlike many of his friends, he didn't blow his money on stupid things. He didn't need a degree for his job, but it does take a lot of skill and intelligence. One thing he needed was an eye for detail, and that was something Dino had, and he had no idea how essential that skill would be to his social life. According to Dino's friends, he was a great guy, a quiet guy, and a responsible guy. He was much different than many of the hard-partying guys they worked with. They admitted that he made good money, but he also knew how to save it. He wasn't flashy when it came to his bank account, and he lived a humble life. He could have bought an enormous house, but he chose to buy a condominium instead and paid for it in full. The only thing missing in his life was a life partner. Dino had the material things he wanted, but he had nobody to share it with, so he decided it was time to find love. Many of Dino's friends went from woman to woman. Their relationships would end because they were on the rig so much, and when they went home on furlough, they'd find that their woman was in a new relationship. Dino didn't want that to happen. He wanted to find the right girl who would be there while he was home or away. His friends would tell him about their conquests, and he knew that was not the life he wanted to live. He didn't want a one-night stand. He wanted a wife. Dino was a patient man, and he didn't mind being patient when it came to finding the right woman for him. When he met an absolutely gorgeous woman, his friends were shocked to see him in a relationship with somebody so beautiful. Dino's friends thought that his new girlfriend, Andrea, was gorgeous, but they felt that, as a person, she was awful. Despite their first impression of Andrea, Dino's friends were still happy for him. He was an ordinary-looking guy, a bit shy, but he was charming, and his friends were sure that his charm is what swept Andrea off her feet. Most of them were just glad that their friend had found somebody. One of Dino's friends became suspicious of Andrea, though, after meeting her only once. He says that she caused the hair on his neck to stand up. The friend decided to give her the benefit of the doubt and try and get to know her a bit better. And when he did, he discovered that she was the most self-centered person he had ever met. He wanted to tell Dino how he felt, but he didn't want his friend to take it the wrong way. Dino's friend discovered that Andrea was as intelligent as she was gorgeous. He also saw that she could manipulate everybody around her. When Andrea moved in with Dino, his friends really started to worry. Soon, Dino began to worry too. He began to become suspicious himself of Andrea, especially when she was out with her friends. When Dino would leave for work, the money went missing from his bank account. He gave her a credit card and the items on the statement just didn't look right. Dino saw that Andrea was spending $500 a week at the supermarket, which is ridiculous for a single person. He believed that she was getting cash back and putting it in her pocket. He realized she was a gold digger, and soon he started to wonder if she was also being unfaithful. When he flew home 7 days early, he knew that he would catch her by surprise. He asked the doorman to go to the condo with him so that he would have a witness. When they got to the condo, Andrea was there with another man. Dino remained calm, gave her a hotel room key and $50 for a cab. He told her to get out and never come back. Andrea flipped. She cried, cursed, apologized. It was an embarrassing display. The police had to be called, Andrea was removed, and Dino had the locks changed. Andrea reacted by damaging Dino's car, which was his prized possession. He wanted to get back at her, and he decided to be patient about it. Remember, he's a patient guy. Revenge would come, eventually. Dino heard about Andrea's sister, Nancy, that she was getting married, and Nancy knew how mean Andrea was and how badly she hurt Dino, so when Andrea got engaged, she told Dino. Dino wrote an anonymous letter. It included a picture of a Monte Carlo, a wedding dress, and a ketchup packet. Next, he had a friend call her, claiming to be from the dress shop talking about a red dress. Andrea freaked out. She was sure her wedding dress had been ruined. Andrea knew Dino was up to something and panicked. She removed everything red from the food, letting the caterer know. She was worried Dino was going to send somebody to the wedding to ruin her dress with something red. After getting his letter, she knew something was up. He sent 30 red lipsticks to her house, and she panicked even more. He even put a red Sharpie in her car. For the weeks leading up to the wedding, Andrea panicked every day. She changed details over and over to make sure that Dino couldn't do anything to her. She was a basket case. This was Dino's revenge. Getting ready for a wedding should be the most beautiful time for the bride, and thanks to Dino, Andrea's experience was horrible, terrifying, and full of stress. He never did do anything to her. Just the thoughts were enough to drive her crazy. What's the worst thing one of your exes did to you? Tell us in the comments, and subscribe for more.